This is Gardening 101. The series is going to help you start a garden this year, and today we're going to deal with those pesky critters. Now in my garden, rabbits and birds are the bane of my existence. So I'm going to give you 6 tips that I am employing in my garden to help deal with these sorts of critters. So for tip number 1, this is going to be for critters that crawl up through your garden beds, and you want to make sure that you lay some base of mesh, something that has very small holes. These are going to keep the critters from being able to crawl through your garden to eat your vegetables. Tip 2 is going to help us with the birds, and for this is a lot of your berries. You're going to want to place some sort of bird netting over your garden beds. You want the mesh to be wide enough that your pollinators can get through. You don't want birds to be able to get through to enjoy your harvest before you do. With this fencing, you want the spacing to be about 1 inch, no more than 2 inches, because rabbits can minimize their body to nearly nothing and they can squeeze through just about any holes. So what I've done for my fencing is I have placed the fencing all around the garden, and then I use hardware cloth at the very base of it so that they cannot get through the slats of the fencing. Now, a tip that I actually got from TikTok a few years ago was to plant something that those critters may like better. So I have actually planted clover, which is going to come up around the time when those tender vegetables are starting to sprout in my garden. Sort of gives the rabbits, for me, something else to eat so that they're not messing with my plants. Rabbits particularly, they don't like thyme, they don't like onion, and they do not like oregano. So I use them as companion planting around crops that they are much more prone to like, to help dissuade them from eating my vegetables. So something I'm really excited to try out this year are these garden mesh cages. They are 12 by 12. They come in these squares, and you can create cages to go around your really tender crops when the rabbits and the pests are much more likely to attack them. These come with enough to make 12 cages, and because they've got that 12 by 12, they fit perfectly in any square foot gardening plan that you may have for your garden layout. And once my crops get larger and there's more in the yard as far as weeds and things to eat, I can take these off and the critters should leave my crops alone. So for our actionable step, go ahead and favorite this video. It's still very early in the season and you may not be able to recognize which of the critters you're dealing with. But as soon as you are, you want to have these tips so you know exactly what to do so that you can enjoy your harvest and your garden doesn't just become a critter buffet. And make sure you're following along because next we are going to start looking at layout.